When you are facing a tight spot right before payday, the urge to find a fast, digital safety net is entirely natural. You log into an app like Current, see an option to access your hard-earned money early, and it feels like a lifesaver. But the quiet fear creeping in behind that convenience is the worry of getting trapped in a hidden cycle of fees, unexpected repayments, or subtle financial penalties that end up setting you back even further. How does a current cash advance actually work behind the scenes, and what are you really signing up for when you tap that button? To understand this tool, we have to look at the mechanics of modern fintech paycheck advances, which operate very differently from traditional credit card cash advances or predatory payday loans. When you take a traditional credit card cash advance, the bank treats it as high-risk credit, charging you an upfront fee alongside immediate, compounding interest that starts the exact second the bill is printed. Payday loans operate on even harsher ground, taking massive interest rates disguised as flat charges. Current's model, specifically its paycheck advance feature, takes an entirely different structural approach. Instead of granting you a high-interest loan based on a credit check, Current looks directly at your cash flow habits through their platform. If you set up qualifying direct deposits into a Current account, the platform tracks your regular income rhythm, evaluating factors like your total deposit volume, how long you have maintained active deposits, and your overall account activity. Based on that algorithm, Current determines a specific maximum limit you can access early, typically ranging from small initial amounts up to several $100s. When you request an advance, Current effectively front-loads a portion of your upcoming paycheck into your available balance. The critical question most people ask is where the hidden trap lies. Unlike credit cards, there is no ongoing interest rate ticking upward every day you hold the balance, and there are no mandatory credit checks that impact your credit score. However, the catch comes in two distinct forms: speed options and auto-repayment mechanics. If you choose a standard transfer to get your advanced cash, it is typically free, but it takes a few business days to settle into your account. If you are in a true emergency and need that money instantly, Current charges an instant transfer fee, which scales depending on the size of the advance. While a couple of dollars might feel negligible in the moment, calculating that fee as a percentage of a short-term advance reveals a surprisingly high effective cost for instant access. The second critical component is how the money is repaid. The exact moment your next qualifying direct deposit hits your Current account, the app automatically deducts the full amount of the advance you borrowed, plus any instant transfer fees you incurred. This creates a psychological and financial reality you must plan for. If you advance $200 to pay a bill today, your next paycheck will arrive $200 late. If your budget is already stretched to its absolute limits, losing that money on payday can force you right back into taking another advance just to cover basic living expenses for the following week. This creates a frictionless loop where you are constantly living one step behind your actual income, effectively paying small convenience fees every single pay period just to access your own money early. The most actionable takeaway when navigating Current's cash advance feature is to treat it strictly as a bridge for genuine, unexpected emergencies, rather than a permanent cushion for everyday overspending. If you find yourself needing to use the feature, always opt for the standard, free transfer whenever possible to avoid unnecessary fees. Most importantly, whenever you take an advance, immediately adjust your budget for the upcoming pay cycle to absorb that deduction so you can break the loop and regain full control over your paycheck.